customer service team for Samsung. So it was a massive experience.
Samsung.
Yes. And business intelligence actually is also very close to my heart because that is one of the core things that are happening in companies.
Sure.
When I was in technical, it was still a growing thing, but this is the talk of the town at the moment. So with BI, companies can't survive with it. So there's a lot of focus, a lot of demand, So when Karthik mentioned skilling, so I think the focus should be to skill people into that areas as well. Yeah. So I finished up with Samsung as a senior manager there. Then now I work for a freight forwarding company called DB Schenker. It's a German-based company and they're freight forwarding logistics. And I lead the national implementation, transport implementation lead there. So I'm actually looking forward. Thank you for inviting me here today, and I'm looking forward to having a bit more insight into the BI and visualization, which is going to be in high demand at the moment.
In fact, every meeting with Rahul, I look forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Because yesterday when I saw something along with my team, wow, we're getting new thoughts. And today, with what we are already doing with the CSDT Plus program, I'm saying how that can be done and speaking with you guys. Keep that in mind when we're creating a framework project that we're building in Java. So with that, I'll quickly finish the introductions, everyone, and then I want him to spend a little time with us. So Ashwini, Vandana, Sunil, myself, we all come from ITeLearn. We work together as a team, and Ashwini and Vandana is a well-known people named in the outside circle for ITeLearn because they interact with all the students. Sunil takes care of the infrastructure, admin, tech support, and so on, and he's based out of the Hyderabad office. All three of them are working out of Hyderabad. Myself, Karthik, I'm based out of Delhi, but kind of keep traveling between there and here. I have also Sloan and I have Pawan. Both of them we are interacting about what we're doing in Selenium automation world, which is linked with our NER product and our certification training. So with what we're doing today, this is going to really add a lot of value to our project. So now with that, why don't you introduce us to what data visualization will do?
Yeah, so data visualization, as you said, it's an evolving thing, and right now every company is beyond the data visualization thing. But the data visualization thing that we are seeing right now, it's actually the final form of it. So it's all completely blended into something called as analytics or data analytics.
Correct.
So data analytics is actually a multidisciplinary field basically, where there's extensive use of statistics, mathematics, and other tools and techniques to get insights from the data. So once you are having the insights, the next thing is to communicate the insight. So that is where actually data visualization comes into play. But before that, there's a lot going in, and still, if you don't have proper visualization of your result, you won't have. In fact, you wouldn't want to even see the result.
That's true.
So that's the reason data visualization is like picking up a lot of pace these days. So in a nutshell, it's basically to find out interesting patterns from the data, and then once you have the patterns with you, you can then interpret those patterns and take decisions actually.
Sure. So that's a very key word, pattern, how you look at patterns.
Yeah.
And I believe this way of looking at data was only left at a scientist or a little under level. Because the kind of analysis that needs to go into that requires a strong mind is built mathematically. Right. So are you saying that the tools that are there with it will make this easy? Because I don't see everyone in this room, for example, is a mathematician.
Yeah, definitely.
Does that make sense what I'm saying? Because I have no clue too much about that.
Actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because right now it's not that only a mathematician or a scientist can be a data analyst. The tool that we teach nowadays are very intelligent tool, like Tableau, which I'll be demoing it to you like after in the second half of the session. You'll see how intelligent the tool is within itself.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of the tools are becoming much more intelligent, and when you add your thoughts in the tool, it all comes out effectively very beautifully.
Right. So for a layman, maybe I don't know, Sunil, how do we understand this? I have some exposure, but maybe Vandana, Sunil, and other members have not seen. before you show us visually what it is there in 30 seconds elevator pitch which tells me in 30 seconds, hey, this is interesting, I want to know more, or no, this doesn't make sense? How would you put it?
I mean, could you like reframe it?
Sure. I'll give you an example, for example. Okay. If I want to talk about one of the products that we are building, which is very close to us, is Anyon. Now, if I get into an elevator with a prospective customer and I see there's an opportunity that I want them to realize if Anyon will fit their need or not. It's my 30 seconds. So if I introduce Anyon into that thing, Anyon is primarily a test management tool that we have deployed on the cloud that will enable you to create your entire testing portfolio at ease. And it will also add the layer through which you can switch and convert from manual to automation and execute your tests on the browser without having to see any code or doing any coding at any time. At the same time, what it does not let you do is deviate too much in terms of, hey, why don't we add complexities and so on. It keeps it very user-friendly. So if it talk about test automation, or if you talk about how you can move from manual to automation, then Anyon is a great platform.
Okay.
So from that, maybe our audience who's related to testing can understand, and maybe not outside. Similarly, something about Tableau that we can really connect with.
Okay, so I'll just bring on a small scenario with this. So let's say we all have retail stores in our locality.
Right.
Retail stores. So have you ever noticed that whenever you go from one retail store to a different retail store, the products aren't the same always. You might have a basket of product over here, some basket, another basket would be over there. The basket would remain, but it would be different everywhere. Okay. So how does this actually come into place? How people actually try to group those things? So some real thought went into that. So what actually data scientist or what you call a statistician or anything, basically what analytics did, it figured out the pattern of the spending. Every transaction counted is at a pattern level, and then it linked it to the locality demography basically. So let's say in particular demography you have more number of old people over there, sitting over there. So you might club in a basket of product that old people buys.
Right.
Similarly, when you have younger people, you will be clubbing product with those, and those will be specified. So this is how analytics comes into picture.
Isn't it more similar to the SQL queries that we can run on databases, which says, hey, who bought what? I can query any database with the current RDBMS databases.
In fact, SQL and all these database servers are very much required to connect data in Tableau.
Oh, so Tableau is over what your raw data is, which is already setting.
So in Tableau, basically what you can do, you can either import a CSV file or an Excel file, or even you can connect it to a SQL, write SQL codes, you can connect to other database servers, and accordingly you can import the data very well into Tableau.
That's amazing. So I've seen the screens, I'm sure the team has not seen it, even our audience that's live. Would you want to show us something, some kind of example?
Definitely I'll do that. So like I was saying about a retail store, so I'll just pick an example of the retail store only. So I'll show you the data afterwards. So let me connect it here first.
Is this a desktop application?
Yeah, this is a desktop application of Tableau. So this is the licensed version. So that's why you can see over there when you click on connect to a server, you have these many servers that you can connect Tableau to. Each and everything you will find it over here. So in my case it's simple, it's an Excel file. So I go to Excel and just to get in the data. It takes me to the place where the data is. I just click in and I open the data. So when you do the data file in Excel format, it will be imported completely into Tableau. Okay, so now just to give you a brief of the data, it's actually stores data, super store data basically. In that you have every transaction, what customer bought what product, in which date did he buy the product, what was the price of the product, was there any discount on the product or not. So every row represents a transaction over here.
So you are able to view the raw data?
if you want me to view, yeah, you can.
Keep calling it raw data.
Yeah, you can.
Because you need specialized to.
Yeah, so the way that you're seeing data over here is the same way it was in the Excel file.
Got it.
So it is the same. So now let's say you have these many column names, right? Introduce the columns. So let's try to answer these 5 questions with this data set. The first thing is, how have the category sales been across the years? So now you saw that Excel file. It was a 17 MB Excel file.
17 MB.
17 MB. So now, if I would have said, everyone knows Excel over here, I believe.
Yes, I'm sure. Yes, all of us.
So now if I tell you, use that Excel file and tell me how the category sales have been trending throughout the time period, for the entire time period.
I mean, easiest is I would do filter, but it will only take me to one sorting or carrying. Or I can use pivot tables to kind of
perfectly you can do that, but it will take some time for you
to achieve that. What it does, and it's always a little tricky.
Because
I've never become a pivot table expert.
Because the size of the data is
It's not size, it's also sometimes the way it is unstructured and present.
And the
when a pivot table you create, you drag and say this, I want this, and a little change. So what we have in our mind is not written correctly in that gives us a best result.
Correct. So like if now we go through these questions once again, how have the category sales been across the years? Which state accounted for the maximum sales? And which were the top 10 selling cities in that state? And who bought the most product and what did he buy? So if I try to answer these questions can be answered from the data. But if I try to answer these questions with the use of Excel, it would take me at least 1 or 2 hours if I'm not an Excel expert.
You're right.
Yeah.
It will take me.
Yeah.
It take time.
I'll show you how
It does, because we use a lot of heavy CRMs. In fact, Infusionsoft CRM, we have about 250,000 subscribers on that database. And for us, when we want to communicate to them, we have to do a lot of filter based on tags, locations, similar thing.
Exactly.
When did they last have an issue and so on. We have to do those filtering.
So now you just look at your watches and it will take hardly less than 5 minutes to answer these questions using tablets.
So it's the same raw data you're saying?
Using the same raw data.
No, I'll change something here because this looks
What do you want?
prepared for it.
Okay, yeah, sure. You can see.
I don't know. How have which state accounted for minimum sales?
Okay, we'll do minimum wages.
And I want top 3 selling cities.
Okay. Any more changes?
So we top 3 selling minimum. I didn't notice that. So did I change too much? Which state accounted for minimum sales?
Okay.
Oh, state. Which were top 3 selling cities in that state? So in a weak state, which was the top cities.
Yeah.
This is tricky even for me on the mind. So I don't know why I need to visualize that data. But there is logic. If it gives
Because we
me
need to find out
possibilities.
why is that state weak.
Yeah.
What's contributing to that low number?
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Because the retail market, even on Dr. Restanagar Road, they know when, because right now there's industrial expansion going, the market is slow here. And so that's absolutely okay. This is going. Okay.
Okay, so let's go to the application. To make it simple to the audience, everyone, I'll just filter it down to one country. So I'll just keep one country over here instead of all. This actually is a global super store data, so it will have all the countries. So let's keep India. Yeah, we just keep India. Okay, so initially what the first question that we had, how were my category sales across the year?
Correct.
So see how simple is it.
But why did you put India first then? Oh, you wanted to make sure
Only
the
for
data is
India.
perfect.
For India.
Within India you wanted to.
Yeah, within India. Every question is
Got
for
it.
India. So what you need, see when you drag a data into Tableau, it arranges the values very beautifully in dimension and measures.
And it's also the icons.
Yeah.
It's a text or a
Geographic
based
field or a measure.
or a date.
Yeah.
Very nice
Yeah.
icons.
So
Others.
what you do is simply drag this order date into a column because you want to see it trending over time. You convert it to months because you want to see a monthly trend, not a yearly trend.
Okay.
And then you drag sales to the rows. Here you have the trend across every month.
Can you undo once? I'm sorry, we were a little fast for me. Ashwini, were you good or you were just fast for you too? No. I seeing from our perspective. month. There's no oh, all the months.
All the months basically.
If there's no data for that month, then we not it.
Not the
Okay. This one.
Now, what you want to see the sales. Basically, you want to see the trend of sales.
Correct.
So you bring the measure to the rules, and then you see the sales. So when you hover your tooltip, you see in the month of January 2011, the sales was $623.
Oh, one second. Does it only show the edges, like points,
Yeah.
but nothing in between?
It depends upon the granularity.
I thought it was showing something in between.
See, like if I do it a day, it will come complete then. So it completely depends upon this axis. Okay. So this thing would have taken in Excel what around 20-25 minutes.
5 minutes
For every month you have to take the data. Okay.
Because we do this, Ashwini, right?
Yeah.
So,
We
but
don't take
again, we
time.
don't do charts out of it, but we enter the raw data and we analyze. We write our summary dashboard.
Yeah, no, definitely Excel, like what I've seen so far, everything can be done in Excel.
Yeah.
Excel has all features,
All
and you can even
features,
record it as macros.
Yeah.
Now my only thing was again coming back to the data, the amount of data that Excel can take,
Yeah.
and also how you can't have drag and drop.
Correct, yeah.
It's more automated in Tableau.
Mhm.
So this is the advantage I believe. Yeah.
So and like if we have over here 3 categories. If you want to see for the categories, if you want to see it individually, just drag the category onto the color and you'll have lines with 3 colors. So any
Can you
category
go back to the earlier not date thing? It was an easier chart.
with a month.
Okay.
Yeah, so you click on furniture, you can see how the furnitures have been trending.
And you can save the report.
Yeah, you can save the report.
Save the query,
The
call it,
query,
or
what do you call that?
See
Say the selection or say the criteria?
Yeah,
data is called as query, right?
Yeah.
That's our statements. Like
So there's no query thing over here. The query thing is would be come into picture when you connect it to a, let's say, SQL server.
No, oh yes, but this is from my perspective of who knows databases is query.
Okay.
We do it in databases or pivot tables in Excel.
Can you save that as for future use? Can you
Perfectly,
have that
you can save
as
this
a
like
report?
yeah, you can have this as a report that I'll be showing you later. I had built up some reports using Tableau,
Yeah.
so I'll show that as well. So this answered our first question: what was the category sales? The second thing we wanted to see which state accounted for the what I did right.
So that first was different. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The first was different. Now in the second, we wanted to see what were the sales by states basically. Which states accounted for the maximum sales? See how is it easy in Tableau. So what you do, you go to states and just double click it. It plots every states on the map of views.
So if you have raw data, you can do it. But we thought we put India, right? So that was sheet 1.
Okay, yeah, that was to see. I'll do one thing for that. Okay, so in this you can add a data source filter. So
Like
there
a
are
global,
different types,
like a global parameter.
yeah, you have different types of filters over here. So I'll add it over here.
This looks easy now. So don't you think I can learn it and do it?
Everyone can learn that.
Good.
Everyone can.
Because for what we do in software testing and automation is everything that we execute, we'll have to track how much time it took, what was the result, what happened each step. There's a lot of in-depth detail that has to be tracked. And raw data gets logged in log files for us or send it to Excel reports, XML and so on. And we have then take it, write our scripts which is fixed and put the visualizations on the reports. If I have to change that, I have to go back to my programmer and say, can you change the code for the reports to reflect?
Yeah, so now you see the map of India over here. Okay. Now these dots represent a particular state. Every dot represents a state. So just to see which state accounted for the maximum sales.
But who gave the map now?
Since
They have this. Wow, that's what I was thinking. So you see
You
that.
choose India, so
with this icon over here.
Ashwini is already very happy. We can start seeing where our students are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see in the front of this state you have this globe icon. So wherever there's a globe icon, it's a geographical field basically. So
Since OpenStreetMap contributors,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
now what you do, the sales you basically put it on size. Now you see the size of the circle changes. Now this is the largest circle, so you can see Maharashtra was the thing with the maximum sales.
Because visually you can see it.
Visually you can see.
Can you zoom? Does anyone have the instant mode? Okay.
You mean drill down?
Did you change or this is the same thing?
Yeah, I changed the
No,
size.
this is-
He's zoomed out.
So, like you see the map and you can say at first instance, okay, Maharashtra was the state that accounted for maximum sales. The next was UP. So you can directly, you need to understand anything to say this.
So
Can we
yes.
switch to a data mode? This is a visual mode.
Yeah,
The same query, can you see draw the data which
the data that comes. So change it to get the data. If you want
okay,
to
the
sort
state and set. That's it, right? That's what I wanted.
If you want to sort it, you can sort it. So Maharashtra comes right
Because
now.
it's all about graphics.
Yes.
Graphics and visualization.
Sorted, but then out of all the data, it just got those two columns.
Yeah.
What we did. So now I want the top three.
Now you want the top three. So what you do, you get the state and bring it into filters. Okay.
Okay, so this is under
Yeah. So there you have something called top.
this. I like wild card. Is it a wild card? It's a wild card. Wild card is really wild card.
You can
Use it
specify
in
your
the-
map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually. So now you as you said top three. You go to field and then you select top three over here. Okay.
Okay.
And then top three by sales. Right. You can select either by profit or by sales or by what.
Now I have one question. This field name here, text title is SALES,
Sales, yeah.
right? So this is an inbuilt already to the application.
Yeah.
So this keyword matching with
The
my
data.
record,
Yeah.
right? How do I do it? Where?
You don't have to do anything. It's all from the data only picked up the measure name.
But what if it changes? What if I have different sets of the same thing? I only wrote down name and email. Vandana put also the phone number. She put country, and we have three different databases with different column names.
Yeah.
They have to be merged. What we call as merging.
Yeah, so you join those database on specific column. So when you perform a join, so you will have all the columns, so number would be there. So once you import that database, the number column also would be seen in this drop down actually. So these are all the attributes of the data that we have: customer ID, sales discount, and all this stuff.
And the question comes back to what is the template of the raw data? You have a fixed template that you can import, is that right? You can't just
No,
import.
only it's two dimensional. That's it. There's
Yeah.
rows and columns. It
Yeah.
can be anything else.
Yes. Okay. So,
Yeah, it's rows, columns. You put anything in.
okay. And then it just captures the headings.
Yeah,
Which row? Which
Yeah.
column?
Open the raw data so that you have
Yeah.
the better context.
I am able to already visualize it. So from a business perspective of how can we make our products more beautiful using data visualization, if Tableau is a tool, great. But from a ITeLearn perspective, like students, I've been hearing them in Tableau for long. You see a growth. I mean, how is it? Don't be offended. I know you love Tableau. You're a data scientist, but
No, the thing is, data analytics is going to grow.
sure.
And data visualization has to grow because you cannot, if you don't communicate your thing, if you don't sell your product, there's no point of making a product. So it will keep on growing. And actually, there was a study being conducted by McKinsey. So they said that by 2018 or 19, US will be falling short of around 2 million data scientists. 2 million is a lot number.
How many do we have right now? Do you know?
Right now, I don't know.
2.1 million. So yeah, that's good. That's
Because the
two.
technology is taking over the
Technology,
data
yeah.
crunching and data mining, right? The intelligence.
You know, one of the very close friends, Mohan Hade, he's opened a BI and data visualization corporate training center in Las Vegas about a month and a half, 2 months back. That's very interesting. This is an interesting topic. But so you're saying there's job market,
Yeah.
but this looks easy for me.
This is easy and anyone can actually pick it up.
Yeah. So why did someone pay me for an Excel, a glorified Excel?
Again, the thing now, if I would have given this thing completely to you, I wouldn't be handling it anything. So you should have understanding.
There's something left.
You should have an understanding about the domain actually. So you need to have an expertise into that, and it comes by time. It's not that I learn Tableau and then I get a hike of 50%. But it's like this, if you learn Tableau, you can very well double your salary in the next 2 years.
Oh, that's a strong statement.
That is in fact, yeah, that is in fact.
So you're saying, okay, let's assume now we are all software development engineers. Okay, 3 of us for sure. Now, if we know Tableau, over this, you're saying we have better valuation.
You have better valuation and you can communicate your idea much more effectively.
That is what is amazing. See, it's all visualization. It's how our mind is trained to see so that we can communicate better.
Correct.
Because a lot of times, this is what I do every day with all 3 of you in Ashna. Team, show me what's happening. How many joined? Who joined? Which country? How long were they there? So we have, like, we do this go-to-webinars.
Okay.
In go-to-webinar, we have these reports that we get. Attendee report. Oh, beautiful report. But no visualization. But then we have our live, are you logged into our Zendesk live chat? Can you log in and show our data?
In fact, you could do one more thing, like you can send me the data that you might be having it into Excel format.
Oh yeah,
you can send it across and I can show what Tableau can
do on it.
Yeah.
That I will explore now myself. You show me why do I need Rahul for it.
So you're the developer.
He's a data scientist, not a developer.
It's a core role basically.
So, what is challenging you, like on a daily basis? Once you set the system, and the company, say for example, you sell the product to a company, they have set kind of dashboards because the senior management wants to see some statistics on a daily basis, monthly basis. Now, what challenges you, and how is Tableau different from any other BI tool? What are your competitors in the industry?
Okay. So the first thing is Tableau itself, it's an intelligent tool. As you start using it, you'll see the intelligence that it's carrying. Like you did not have to do anything to differentiate the measures and dimensions that we had. You just imported the data and all it did by itself. So it's an intelligent.
Does that come as a core solution?
Yeah. This thing comes as a core solution. And about the competitors, you have Power BI as a competitor for Tableau. Then major of the data visualization tools, they are competing for
SAP, I know that every ERP have their own BI tools. SAP has their own BI tool.
That's true as well.
I mean, and the dashboard is something that has been a core requirement for companies for a long time.
Yeah.
So, how does SAP BI any different from Tableau? Would you have any insight on that, or?
I haven't actually used SAP BI much of it, so I wouldn't be able to comment on that.
And results would be the same. You're showing it a more of a visualization.
Correct.
What are the statistics in a bar graph or a trend? So, and what's challenging? So, what happens with Tableau on a daily basis for yourself? Like, do you keep adding more tools into it, like categories and subcategories? What is that?
What is it that is there? It doesn't change. I mean, keeps changing. That requires a data scientist with Tableau be present in the organization.
What do the developers do?
What do the,
I mean, besides fixing bugs and everything else, what is the releases? Like, what is the next release?
It's like it's a hierarchy basically. So the first thing is you have a data consultant. Now the job, the role of a data consultant would be to interact with the client. Now, like we work for ITSM domain. So now the job of a data consultant would be in ITSM. You have different kinds of data. You have server data, you have file shares data, all types of data you have.
A lot of session data.
Exactly. So the data consultant has the domain knowledge actually. He would be someone who is good in ITSM, who knows ITSM well. Now he would now communicate with the client. Now the client says that okay, I need this and this by this. I don't need this. So his job is just a requirement gathering. The next thing the next role is for a data developer basically. So there are two things for that. The first thing is that you might have been given something. Okay, I need a bar chart for this. I need a pie chart for this. So that's pretty simple. You do it. But sometimes it comes that okay, I need it to be visualized in something different way.
Actually, one of the things that I saw Tableau, and you can show some of the reports I've seen as well, is how I can look and ask questions internally, and with my finger or mouse get all my answers. what typically happens, for example, now this is Zopem, Zendesk. We've been using this on our website for long to be able to communicate and interact with our whoever's visitors. So when we go to this analytics, please, it shows us the data, like how many people came, how many conversations we had, how many we missed, how many were good conversations back, all this kind of data. And then this is standard that I've seen in a lot of places. But if you go to our visualization home, please, visitors, and here's a visual of live data. Who's there on our website currently and which country are they logged in from. And I can then say what page are they on and so on. And when we click on them, it then takes us to the specific thing. So it's a great visualization for us to take instant action as to what they want to do next.
Every CRM comes with
that. Well, I'm sorry. Rahul, is this very similar? Is this something we can do similar in Tableau? You're saying?
Yeah, you can do perfectly similar.
I can build applications that look and feel like this.
Yeah, you can do that.
So if I have raw data in the back end, which is changing, my visualization at front end can keep getting done based on the data change.
Yeah.
And you assume that this is also created in using Tableau or some similar tools?
I think.
Perfect. That's what I mean, for business intelligence and data visualization I knew, but I didn't know it was that easy. Like, take a tool and you're there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
How does it help a career for one of? I'm sorry, Nandini?
No, that's the question. No, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Every CRM has its own data analytics and visualization. Infusionsoft is also CRM.
Can you show Infusionsoft once?
So that is a CRM in itself.
Oh, it's a huge.
So that's why you have as a package, right? You have data inputting, data whatever modification, whatever the final results is your statistics and analysis. So, but it's only within Infusionsoft. Now Tableau is bolt on to anything. Like it's there, and you can use it for multiple purposes.
Okay.
You don't have to define the groundwork.
And I'm thinking very strongly from Eniot, Peach, and Just Done perspective, because it is all interaction visualization. And one of the first things that we want to do with Eniot is also drag and drop interface, more visual than use keyboard. So it's more less and less of keyboards in our communications going forward, and more of virtual reality, gesture based. That's okay, we can look at it later. Thank you. Rahul, but back to you, a few more reports and a career for our students if they, Vandana, is anyone asking about Tableau and showing interest in our audience so far?
But initially there is no ask.
Okay, no. Also because we have never really gone and said that we have someone like Rahul who could
We haven't
train our
promoted
audience.
actually. Promoted, maybe when we start promoting.
No, but now I'm very motivated because now I can also use. Whereas once I start using, I believe it's easy for us to start.
Data warehousing and analytics go hand in hand right now. I think. So we have been talking about data warehousing.
Yeah, actually, what is the difference between data warehousing is storing?
Yeah.
Within multiple
That is like
things.
Amazon S3, CDNs and so on.
Not really. Data warehouse is not about actually the cloud storage. It's about forming those tables, what data is needed.
And then you keep it somewhere.
Yes. I was
See,
keeping storage.
There's a warehouse and the racks in it.
Yeah.
So you're talking racks.
Yeah.
But warehouse is the whole thing.
Cloud.
How do you manage a warehouse
Yeah.
where data is stored?
Yeah.
And that whole warehouse could be in Amazon or your private farm and so on. Right? How?
Tableau will then come on top.
Correct.
So this.
Tableau will say, the CEO won't go into a warehouse and see it. So Tableau will say, you stay out, I'll give you the report.
Correct. Yeah, so I'll just walk through you a couple of reports that I built using Tableau. So we have been hearing a lot about Digital India. Narendra Modi launched it in 2nd October 2015.
Yeah.
And his main motto was actually to connect India digitally. So that was all the fuss about. So I thought of let's actually look into the data and see what's actually happening over there. So I picked up. There's a body called ASER, so that does educational
I was
surveys.
about to ask where he got the data.
Yeah. So there's a body ASCR, so that does educational service. So what it does, it goes to rural schools in rural areas, and then it conducted a survey. So one question in that was the accessibility of computers in rural India. So this dashboard is completely based on that only. So now when we see over here, this is all what, so ASR it conducted the survey across 15,630 government schools. And now when we see the survey actually, we see in 2010 it was of 15.8%. So out of 100 schools, there were only 15 schools that were actually having computers accessible to students. That didn't change much, and in 2016 also we have just around what 20% of it.
I see. So you see how many percent of schools have computer access to students?
In rural areas.
In rural?
Yeah.
So this number in rural areas is also a criteria that you put?
Yeah, so the survey is basically conducted
See,
in
Kerala is not a rural area. How can you say rural?
Rural in Kerala.
In Kerala. Rural, urban, yeah.
This lists all the in Kerala, right?
The rural, in rural areas that we have the government schools.
So if you take that rural out of it and say it's much bigger.
Much bigger. So in Kerala actually tops. In 2016, 89% of the schools, sorry, 89% of the schools had computers available for children.
So look at the beauty of looking at something and putting it in English, saying that this is what answers. So that's what we say. Business requirement is this English. This is amazing.
The insight that you see over here, you have just 3-4 states that have actually more than 50%. As you go down, you can see states like Meghalaya, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh have in fact less than 2%. So is that what digital India is?
But overall country, how much is it? Oh, this is here, is it?
Yeah.
This is for the entire nation of
No, it's for those schools only that was surveyed.
Correct. In that filter.
Yeah.
See now, for example, what you had to tell me, but I didn't see anywhere bold where it says rural criteria, this other tag, and so on.
You see, you missed the heading part.
See, that's English for me.
No,
It's
I
not
think
keyword.
what Karan is saying, you know how you just built the report
Yes,
previously
exactly.
by
Where
dragging and
at
dropping.
any time I could see here visual. Oh, okay, this is the criteria. Visual criteria. So this is English, and then
Then how you explain the visual that you have built?
you are having to explain. You are there. That's why I can understand it.
If you read through it, if I send it as a report to you,
Yes.
then you can read through it and you can actually see and you can understand.
Question. So I can customize this.
Yeah, you can.
And I can put that sorted on, and I put 3-4 things like top 3 words, like keywords. Because that's what we do in NEO and so on. So any applications behave the same way. It is more like behavior-driven development methodology, where we write exactly how a user behaves. This is nice.
And do we?
So now this is your public profile in Tableau, right?
Yeah.
Can you show us a little bit about that? Like Tableau as a platform and how he is contributed to it.
I was just automation of reports out.
That's right. It's just a little conscious of time. That's why I kind of look. Please go ahead.
No, that's okay. Then you can have take it offline.
I was actually asked, Sunil, remember the other day I asked you to prepare, show me the updated list of all the systems. In that I wanted to know how many laptops. I wanted to know basically who has i5 laptops. Okay, for that it's easy, I could see it because there are only 50, 60 overall like systems in the office that we're talking about. But similar thing if I have to do it in ITeLearn, like who have attended a webinar in the month of December 2017 is very tough. So great, thank you.
Like you were asking this public profile actually. So there's something called as Tableau Public. That's a free version of Tableau. So anything.
This is the one I saw.
Yeah.
Like Netflix.
Yeah.
He showed me.
So this is actually what you have. So right from the beginning, right from the year 1900 and 1914, I'll just make it first one, to 2017. All the shows that have been rated. So it's a dashboard for those. So let's say you want to select top 15.
Green marks represent average user rating more than 90
out of
100. In the year 2016, max number of titles. See, this is what I was talking about there. Were released. Okay. And then
so let's say if you want to select an audience, let's say you want to see it for general audience. So when you click on general audience, it will give you all the shows that had more than 90 ratings, and so all the shows.
Interactive
And your mouse over.
dashboard.
Yeah.
It's also mobile responsive, I believe.
It is a mobile.
So in smartphone, maybe I can, one click is keep it pressed in, there's something else happens.
And these outlets are customized as per requirements by the customer.
Yeah.
Is that what a data scientist does?
Yeah.
It says how
So they want to
visualizes
decide.
how the data visualizes must be.
How do I want to see a data? So by the first look, I can make some decisions.
Correct.
I think it's a little different. I think Rahul imagines how should I make the data visual so that my management can see, or this team can see, and that team can see.
Correct. Yeah.
To some extent.
No, that's the only thing.
But
That's what-
management wants to see it differently.
So you're a manager. Let's say you're a user of Tableau. So for us, we want to see.
Right.
His job is what do they want to see? Is that correct?
Yeah.
What do you? Maybe they want to see this. Hey, this looks interesting.
But the best
Something
part
happened.
is when data is available, you can just make it visualize anywhere.
Anyway,
So
that
you
you
just
want.
make sure the
Yeah.
data is there for them
Correct.
to
Yeah.
put it out there.
So sorry, with time in mind, just I have two,
Yeah.
three questions. Maybe then we can sort
I
it
think,
out. What's the career options is one. So and second is why Tableau BI data visualization is such a huge field. Why Tableau as one product? First one was career options, and second is this. And third is there much to learn? This looks simple for me. I mean, how long will it take for someone like basic IT, someone who knows Excel to let's say learn Tableau?
So let's start one by one. The career perspective thing. Right now, like I said, Tableau is a tool. The career that we are looking at is data analytics and visualization.
Okay, good.
So that is something which we are looking into. Tableau just aids it. And why Tableau? The answer would be I have used multiple tools for visualization. I have used Power BI, I have used Tableau, I have used R, that's a data analytics tool. You can have visualization into that. That also we use. And Tableau, I found out that it was the most versatile tool that I came across.
So, okay, the way I look at it is if it's a big market, there will be a lot of product companies who have like ventured into it in a mature way.
Yeah.
So I heard Tableau and I heard Power Builder.
Power BI. Yeah.
Power BI. There was also Power Builder, some kind of a software long back. Pascal, Fortran, those things. Great. So, go on.
Yeah, so and about learning Tableau, there are two things. The basics of Tableau that you take around at least, you can learn Tableau well in 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is to apply. That application part comes like once you keep on doing it,
You
the
get smarter.
application you get smarter at it, and there's every day you have something new to learn in Tableau.
I think you need to be creative. So
Yeah, you need to be
something
creative.
very- Something to
Absolutely.
build like that
Absolutely.
and present it. You should be very creative.
Stock market has been using the best of this for long, but now this can take it to the next level.
Yeah.
This data visualization for financial market.
I in fact did a dashboard for financial market as well using Tableau. So I did it for sports, I did it for everything.
Is it technical? Is it just a tool? Any coding involved?
There's no coding involved. You need to have some knowledge of calculations like this. It's syntax driven. Let's say you have a field over there. You want to create something out of that field.
Take the tax.
Take
Take the GST. Take off that.
Yeah. So
You have the amount, but you don't have a GST, so just to add 10% to it.
yeah.
Then why is everyone not a data scientist in Tableau? Does it pay well? That's the next question. Is it like compared? The easiest way I look at is ERP or specialized skills and so on. So how does it pay?
See, it does pay well. It does if you are like because Tableau, you see, it's an evolving tool. It's evolving daily, and it wasn't there 10 years before. So if you go to the market tomorrow, you would say, I want someone who's 8 years experience in Tableau. You won't find any person. You won't find any person. So it's an evolving tool, and you have a great career.
So if I have a data analytics or internally somewhere with Excel, so basically you're saying if I know Excel well and have used that reporting and worked in that format,
you can
Tableau is easy to learn and also a great career.
Perfectly, Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's
is there
amazing.
a prerequisite to learn Tableau?
You know, for example, Ashwini, Ashna, all of us who are working in service industry, especially customer support and so on, ITS and related also, makes a lot of sense. Lot of sense. From there all the way to any other products everywhere that we use. Okay. Any other questions?
So from my implementation perspective, are there any prerequisites? So I want to implement Tableau for my product.
Okay.
So what are all the prerequisites?
Implementing Tableau for your product, as in, see, Tableau is basically something which uses data that you provide, and then you do visualization through it.
Yeah.
So if your product gives some data, some kind of data it gives you, and you want to see that, you want to communicate that data to someone, that you can basically automate and implement.
I wanted to learn how to write Tableau because how do you spell it? Maybe.
No.
I T-A-B-L-E-E-A-U.
EABLE.
And the T is actually like the plus sign.
Because I didn't want to change them.
This is interesting. This looks like a license fee, and there's a single user, and so on, right?
You have something like I said about Tableau Public. That's a free version, anyone can download it.
Okay, get it.
And then whatever you publish goes into the server that I showed you right now.
Okay.
Then there's something called license version. You have single license, you have multiple license, then you have server licenses as well. You can install it as well.
I have so many questions. My questions will never end. All I'm saying is, can we create like a 10 to 12 hour starting program on Tableau, like a training which will let people know what it is, and then I want my team to learn first. So some of them will be looking at from process, some of us from a product development that we are involved in, and then students from.
And for yourself as well to see
Corporate
that
actions,
at a very high level.
Can you put something like 10 hours, because I can't get so many people into training for such a long thing. Can you put something in 10 hours that, if you know Microsoft Excel to Tableau, 10 hours, can you do that?
10 hours would be short, but 15 hours I think.
Nice.
15 hours.
Because then some people who are more deep going into it, they can go, and then we can have some hands-on exposure or support. That's interesting. So this is something we work and see.
Tableau, Tableau, I was having a different spelling, but if you look at the spelling, it says table. It's all about table. It's about data.
I think it's table Australia.
Yeah, that's it.
She wanted to come to Australia. That's it.
Table in Australia.
Hey, there's even any autos, okay?
Who are the, like, which Tableau is Indian?
No.
Yeah, who owns?
Who owns the, like SAP is Germany?
Don't say it's Rahul Singh.
It's
Then we'll say we have stopped going live.
basically a company and Tableau. It's a product. So it's a company also. It's a product of that company.
Or it's a company.
Based
Or
somewhere
Tableau.
it's come from.
Which country?
Yeah, where is it?
US based.
US based. Yeah.
Wow, this is
We
amazing.
might sound a bit.
Yes, you are the question also. You good? Great, thank you so much. I really appreciate Rahul. This is enlightening. I mean, it was already enlightening yesterday for me. But this is even more specific when the team is sitting. I know what. Let's go public, Tableau public, put our raw data, and maybe Rahul can show you quickly. Let's see how it can be done. Alright?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rahul. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
For you coming. I hope we'll see you tomorrow again. Alright? Take care. You guys, great time. Thank you. So, I hope our team also attended from good meetings. Did I see?
Online.
We'll see.